All right, let's dive into what is, without a doubt, one of the most epic grand opening ceremonies of all time. We're talking about the inauguration of the Tabernacle service. And trust me, this is way more than just a story about ancient rituals. This is a high-stakes drama where an entire community is basically holding its breath, waiting to see if a massive divine promise is actually going to come true. So the scene is set on a very specific day, the 8th day. Now, this isn't just a random Tuesday. This comes right after a full 7-day period of preparation for the priests. So you see, the number 8 here really signifies a new beginning. It's day 1 of a whole new era. The stage is set. And here it is. This is the promise that's hanging over everything. Moses lays it out plain and simple. This is the whole point of the ceremony. It's not just about going through the motions. The goal, the big payoff, is a direct, visible encounter with the divine. And you can just feel the tension, right? Will it really happen? Okay, so who's on the guest list for this massive event? Well, you've got Moses, the leader, kind of the director of the whole show. You have Aaron and his sons who are stepping into their brand new jobs as priests for the very first time. And here's the key part. This was not some private, behind-the-scenes thing. The elders, the leaders, and the entire community were all there to see it. This was a national event. Just try to picture this for a second. An entire nation of people, all gathered together, all focused on one single goal, to see this divine promise fulfilled. Every single sacrifice, every ritual step we're about to walk through, is like a carefully placed piece of a puzzle, all designed to build towards this one incredible moment. So the ceremony kicks off in a very particular order. You see, before the priests can do anything for the people, they have to get their own house in order first. It's like that saying, put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. The whole thing starts from the inside out. And this first step tells you so much about how this all works. Aaron, who's the high priest, can't just waltz in and start making sacrifices for everybody else. Nope. His very first job, his first official act, is to make things right for himself. The logic is pretty clear. A leader has to be right with God before they can even think about representing the community. And wow, look at the precision here. This was not a wing it kind of situation. They had a specific checklist. Slaughter this animal, apply the blood to this exact spot on the altar, burn these specific parts, and then get rid of the rest outside the camp. Every single step was intentional. So what was all that for? Well, this was what's called a sin offering, and its purpose was pretty straightforward: purification. It was all about cleansing, about dealing with any wrongdoing, to make sure Aaron was totally fit to serve in this holy place. Think of it like a spiritual deep clean. Okay, but he wasn't done yet. Getting cleansed was just step 1. Next up, Aaron had to perform a second personal sacrifice, a burnt offering, this time with a ram. And this had a totally different purpose. This wasn't just about getting clean. This was about showing total dedication. And check this out, the process is completely different. Remember how the blood was carefully dabbed on the horns before? Well, for this one, it's splashed against the sides of the altar, and the whole animal gets burned piece by piece. It just goes to show you this wasn't about cleansing sin anymore. It was about complete and total devotion. All right, so the priests are ready to go. Now, the camera kind of pans out to the crowd because the focus shifts. This wasn't just a ceremony for the leaders to perform while everyone watched. This was a collective act that involved the entire nation. And the people don't just stand there, oh no, they bring their own offerings, and look at this list. They've got their own sin offerings and burnt offerings, but then they also bring animals for something called a fellowship offering and even a grain offering. This was a massive, all-in act of worship from everyone. Now, this fellowship offering is really, really cool because unlike some of the other sacrifices, this one was shared. A part of it was burned for God, a part was given to the priests, and a part was actually eaten by the people who brought it. It was basically a sacred communal meal, a symbol of peace and just hanging out with God. And there was this one unique ritual that was part of it, called a wave offering. Aaron would literally take some of the best parts of the animal, the breast and the right thigh, and he'd symbolically wave them before the Lord. It was a special gesture, kind of dedicating these portions before they were given to the priests to eat. Okay, deep breath. The checklist is complete. All the sacrifices have been made, for the priests and for the people. Everything that was commanded has been done. We are now at the climax, the grand finale of this incredible day. So after the last offering is done, Aaron steps down from the altar. He turns to the massive crowd, lifts up his hands, and he blesses them. And you'd think, okay, that's it. That's the end of the show. It feels like the perfect way to wrap things up.
But the blessing, that wasn't the finale. Not even close. There was one more thing that was about to happen, something nobody could have planned for. And then it happens. The promise from the very beginning, the whole point of the day, is fulfilled. The glory of the Lord appears, and not just to Moses and Aaron, but to all the people. The moment everyone had been waiting for was finally here. But that's not all. As if seeing the divine glory wasn't enough, it was immediately followed by something sudden, stunning, and dramatic. Fire. And we're not talking about someone lighting a match here. This fire comes out from the presence of the Lord, and in an instant, it just consumes all the offerings on the altar. It's like a divine exclamation point, a clear, undeniable sign that all their offerings had been accepted. So, how do you even react to that? I mean, what do you do after you see something so incredible? Let's take a look at what this moment did to the people who were actually there to witness it. The crowd's reaction is just fascinating because it's split right down the middle into two powerful emotions. On one hand, they shouted for joy. I mean, a huge, explosive celebration. And at the very same time, they fell flat on their faces in profound awe and reverence. It's this perfect mix of absolute joy and overwhelming wonder. So at the end of the day, that fire was the ultimate seal of approval. It was the universe screaming, yes. This one act confirmed everything. The tabernacle was officially open for business, Aaron's priesthood was legit, and their obedience had been answered in the most direct way possible. It was total validation. And this leaves us with a really interesting question to chew on. The whole day was built on these precise rituals and procedures. But the moment that truly defined everything, the one that forged their identity as a community, was this moment of spontaneous, uncontrollable awe. So it makes you wonder, right? For any community, what's the right balance between that disciplined structure and those powerful, unscripted moments of pure wonder?